Hello learners, welcome back to the online learning session. In the previous session, we have been understood the various types of transactions and how to identify the accounts involved in each transaction, the nature of the transaction, and the rules which are applicable to those transactions and the effect of those rules on the accounts. Also, we have been understood the meaning of journal and how to journalize the transaction. We have seen the format of journal. Then we have also seen some of the journal entries. Then we have also understood the how to do combine entry along with the trade discount entry and a cash discount entry. So now as you have been cleared with the journals, today we are going to see the various subsidiary books. So what exactly subsidiary books? Subsidiary books are the subdivisions of journals. So in which specific transactions of similar nature are recorded. So we know that the transactions involving cash or bank are recorded in cash book, a book of original entry. So however, it is not possible that all the time the business transaction should only be in the form of cash only. So there are certain credit transactions are also there. There are transactions which are related with purchases, transactions related with sales. There will be transactions related with purchase returns, sales returns. Then there will be bill of exchange, bills receivable, bills payables are also there. So there are goods accounts are also there, or goods journals are also there, or the transactions related with that. So it will be difficult to identify those transactions and record those transactions, and that is why there is a need of having the subsidiary books. So as subsidiary books plays a vital role, now we'll see the various types of subsidiary books. So here all the journals are classified into four types of journals. Those are cash journals, goods journals, bills journals, and a special journal. So in cash journal, we have cash or bank book and a petty cash book. So cash and bank book is for the cash transactions involving large amount, and petty cash is a cash transaction involving small amounts. Then we have the goods journal, in which we have four types: purchase book, that is for credit purchase of trading goods; purchase return book, that is defective goods purchase returns to the supplier or the creditor; then we have the sales book, that is credit sales of trading goods; and we have the sales return book, that is defective goods sold returned by the customer to the seller. Then we have the bills journal, in which we have the bills receivable book and bills payable book. So bills receivable, bills drawn and received from debtors, and bills payable, bills accepted and issued to the creditor. And we have the fourth, that is special journals, that is journal proper. So exceptional transactions are there. Those transactions which are not falling under these transactions are recorded in journal transaction. So as per the chart, it is clear to you that all the four journals are there, and those are subdivided into various books. So all these are called as the subsidiary books. So now we'll see one by one. So first we have the cash journals. So what is a cash journal? So first we need to understand the cash book. So in any business there will be numerous transactions relating to cash, that is receipt and payment of cash. So on receipt of cash, the cash account is debited, and on payment of the cash account is credited. So cash account can be prepared straightway without journalizing the transactions. So by doing so, much of the clerical labor involved in making the journal is saved. Since cash transactions will be numerous, it is better to keep a separate book to contain only the cash account. So this book is known as cash book. So there are three types of cash books. Single column cash book, we can also call it as a simple cash book, then double column cash book, and a three column cash book. So in single column cash book, cash transactions are recorded in chronological order, cash receipts on the debit side, cash payments on the credit side, and difference is the cash in hand. Whereas we have double column cash book where discount and cash columns are prepared. Only cash discount but not the trade discount is recorded in double column cash book. Whereas we have the three column cash book where we have the discounts, cash and bank columns. So now we'll see the first, that is single column cash book, or we can call it as a simple cash book. It is also known as a single column cash book, and a simple cash book is ruled exactly by like a ledger account. So the format of the cash book look like this. So here we have the debit side and the credit side. So in the debit side we have the date, particular, ledger folio, amount, and again we have date, particular, ledger folio and amount. So as you have been cleared with the pro forma, we'll see one example. So example of a single column cash book. So here enter the following transactions of Rajesh in single column cash book for the month of July 2020. So here the transactions are given like Rajesh on 1st July commenced business with cash rupees 2 lakh. Second, paid cash into bank 1,50,000. Third, that is on 4th, purchase goods for rupees for cash rupees 20,000. Then on 4th, sold goods for cash 15,000. On 5th July, paid for stationery 500. On 7th July, received from Arun 25,000. On 8th, paid to Gopal 10,000. And on 10th, purchased office furniture 4,000. So for this particular transactions, first we need to draw a single column cash book where there will be a date column, there will be a particular column, there will be a ledger folio column, there will be an amount column. Again, date, particular, ledger folio and a amount column, where at the debit side we have the receipts and at the credit side we have the payment. So first, if we see commenced business with rupees 2 lakh. So here as it has been commencing the business, so the cash is coming into the business, so it is a receipt for the business. So here we'll write 1st July, and as commence business, so it is a capital, so to capital account. So here we'll write the amount 2 lakh. Then second is paid cash into bank. So from this business the cash is going to bank, so that is why here we have to write down it into the payment side. That is, here we have date 2 July by bank account as the cash is going out, so it is a payment 1,50,000. Then next, 4th, purchase goods for cash. As goods is purchased, cash is going, so here again it is a payment, so 4 by goods account 2 lakh, sorry 20,000. Then on 4th, sold goods for cash. As goods is sold, which means that cash is coming, so it is a receipt. So on 4th we have goods account for 15,000. Then again on 5th we have paid for stationery. As paid, which means that it is a payment, so here 5th by stationery 500. Then next 7, received from Arun 25,000. So as it is a receipt, so here to Arun account how much, 25,000. Then we have the next transaction paid to Gopal, how much, 10,000. So here payment, so that's why by Gopal account 10,000. And at last we have purchased office furniture 4,000. So as we have purchased, it is a payment. So once all the transactions are over, so here we have cleared with the receipt side and the payment side, and all the transactions are recorded in the cash book. So now we need to identify which side is bigger, whether debit side is bigger or a credit side is bigger. So in the given transaction we have debit side is bigger, that is 2 lakh plus 15 plus 25, we have 2 lakh 40,000. So same amount we need to write on the credit side. So here once you have written over here, so you have to subtract the total of these items from the total. So if we subtract the total of these items from 2 lakh 40,000, we'll get at the end of July 31st 55,500. So it is a closing cash. So receipt is 240 and payment is 240 minus this. So we have cash in hand 55,000. So this will be the opening, that is the amount available with the business. So on 1st August we have two balance broke down 55,500. So now you are clear with single column cash book. So we'll see two column cash book. So what exactly the format of two column cash book? So here the debit side is for receipt and credit side is for payment. So here only date, receipt number, particulars, LF, and we have two columns, that is bank and cash. So here we don't have the discount column. So it is a only two column cash book, or we can also call it as a cash book with cash and bank column. Then on the payment side we have same date, voucher number, particular, LF, bank and cash. So now as you are clear with this, we'll see the example. Now we'll understand the two column cash book with the help of this example. So the example is taken from the books of business accounting. The author is Dr. Suhas Mahajan and Dr. Mahesh Kulkarni, Nirali Prakashan, page number 2.97. The transactions were given, like enter the following transactions in the cash book of Dinesh, having cash book with cash and bank column for March 2020. So here you will see all the transactions given, like cash in hand 400 and cash at bank 1000. Then sold goods to Suresh and company for rupees 60,000 and received cash of rupees 400 in part payment. So purchased goods from Patel for rupees 784 and paid the amount by issue of check. The next transaction is transferred rupees 500 from private bank account to business bank account. Then next transaction, issued a check of rupees 20,000, sorry, 200 to Bharat Furniture Works for the furniture purchase in the month of Feb 2020. Then on 12th, withdraw for personal use from the bank rupees 100. Then on 14th, issued a check to petty cashier rupees 175. Then on 15th, withdraw for office use 500. Then on 18th, Suresh and company informed that they paid directly into our bank account the remaining balance, that is rupees 200. Then on 19th, bank collected interest on investment and credited to our account rupees 200. Bank charge 1% commission. Then 20, insured goods against fire for rupees 40,000 and paid insurance premium 2% by check. Then on 21, for cash sales, received a check from Messrs. Manik and Sons for rupees 500 and deposited in the bank account immediately. On 23rd, check received from Messrs. Manik and Sons was dishonored. On 25, paid salary by check rupees 300. And on 13th, purchased government securities of rupees 800 at 98%. So for this numerical, how to prepare two column cash book? So here is the solution. The pro forma we need to draw in the books of Dinesh, cash book with cash and bank column for March 2020. We need the debit side and the credit side. We require 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 6. 12 columns and uh, almost 20 to 25 rows. So the first, date, receipt number, particulars, ledger folio, amount, two column, bank and cash, and same date, voucher number, particulars, LF, amount, cash and bank. So these all are the columns. So we'll understand how to prepare a 2-column cash book. So first, on 1st March, cash in hand rupees 400 and cash at bank rupees 1000. So it is in hand and at bank. So it is what? A receipt, because it is with us. So here we'll write on the receipt side, on first, two balance brought down, 1000 which is in bank and 400 which is in cash. Then on second, sold goods to Suresh and company for rupees 600. Now here we have sold the goods and received cash of rupees 400 in part payment. So here 600 minus 400, still 200 were remain, but we have received 400, so it is a receipt. So on second we write here two sales cash, and in cash column we will write 400 because it is in the form of cash. Then third, purchase goods from Patel for rupees 784 and paid the amount by issue of check. Here we have purchased the goods from Patel, which means that there is a payment made and the amount is paid by check. So which means that it is going from the bank. So the payment is from bank. So for third, by purchase check, and in bank column we have written 784. Then on fifth, transferred rupees 500 from private bank account to business bank account. So now it is transferred from uh, other account to the business account. So in business bank account the cash is coming. So here on fifth we have received the cash. So to D's capital, that is cash brought to business. How much? In bank column we have received 500. Then on 10th, issue a check of rupees 200 to Bharat Furniture Works for the furniture purchase in the month of Feb 2020. Now here check is issued. So payment is done through bank. So 10th, at the payment side we have by Bharat Furniture. In bank column we have 200. Then next, on 12th, withdraw for personal use from bank rupees 100. Now it is withdrawn from bank. So payment is done by D's drawing for personal use. From bank we have deducted 100. Then next is issued a check to petty cashier rupees 175. Now the check is issued, which means that payment is done on 14. So we have payment on 14, petty cash issued check through check. So it is in the bank 175. Then on 15th, withdraw for office use rupees 500. So now it is also payment. On 15th we have withdrawn from where? From the bank. How much? 500 rupees are withdrawn. So as the cash is withdrawn, so it is withdrawn from the bank and it is for office use. So which means that it is coming into the business again. So it is a contra entry. The cash is withdrawn from bank and it is coming to the business. So again we need to do the contra entry. That is to bank for office use, and we have to write down it in the cash column 500 rupees. Now on 18th, what happened? Suresh and company informed that they paid directly into our bank account the remaining balance, that is 200. So this is 600 minus 400, 200 remain, which has been paid by them into the bank. So directly they have paid into the bank. So on the receipt side we have on 18th Suresh and company has paid 200 rupees in the bank column. Then on 19th, bank collected interest on investment and credited to our account rupees 200, and bank charged 1% commission. So interest on investment is paid by the bank. So it is on the receipt side. Interest on investment in the bank column we have received 2%, but for that bank has charged 1% commission. So for 200, 1% is rupees 2. And on 19th the thing is happened. So at the payment side on 19th, bank charges at 1% on 200. So 02 is in the bank column. Then next, on 20, insured goods against fire for rupees 40,000 and paid insurance premium 2% by check. So 40,000, 2%, we have how much? 10% is 400 and 2% is 80 rupees. So it is for insurance premium. So it is a payment and it is made by check. So which means that in the bank column the payment is there. So fire insurance for 40,000, 2% we have the 800. 10% is 4,000 and 2% is 800. Then on 21st, for cash sales, received a check from Messrs. Manik and Sons, rupees 500 and deposited into the bank. So on 21, received a check. So on receipt to sales cash, in bank we have received the check. So 500. And on 23rd, what happened? The check received from Messrs. Manik and Sons was dishonored. So it is dishonored. So we have to do a payment entry that the check is dishonored and it is from the bank. Then on 25th, paid salary by check rupees 300. It is a payment. So at the payment side, buy salary from bank 300 because it is through check. And on 30, purchase government securities of rupees 800 at 98%, which means that there will be a discount of 2%. So here buy investment account and the discount will be 2%. So we can have the 100%, that is rupees 874.